You're on mute, Jake. Um,
Sorry, what was that?
Jake, if you want to share your screen, feel free.
Okay, let me, I'm on my phone right now. Let me quit and rejoin on my computer.
Okay.
okay, in the meantime, maybe we can find the repository where this is. uh, I'm looking at.
Do you have JetBrain to start with?
No, I want to get the instructions here.
Okay.
Where is the chain repository? Oops, this is in Jim Scarborough RChain. Not where I want to be. I don't know. Just type RChain in the URL bar. Okay, we have do we know which repository we're looking in here? Hello, welcome back, Jake. So what repository are we looking in here? RChain tools or?
I'd probably just go to developer.rchain.coop and find that from there. But RChain is the official repository.
Okay, no, developer. Okay, and download the SDK. Okay, as you can see, I haven't done this before. So are you saying there was something we needed to do here? If we run under Docker, it looks pretty straightforward here.
Yeah, I think the Docker process I did not follow. What I did was I downloaded JetBrain for something else anyway for Scala. And when you're going to JetBrain, there is a Rholang, JetBrain has a whole bunch of modules, whatever you want to download, and Rholang is one of them that shows up.
Yeah, that's a completely different project. The JetBrains Rholang thing is a bounty project being done by someone to just be able to write and highlight the syntax of Rholang files of the language in the editor. It doesn't have anything to do.
Do we need that or do we not need that?
No, you don't need that. Do you have Docker installed?
Yeah, go ahead, Jim. I don't right now, but
what is this? Rholang SDK?
You don't need to make a dir.
Just do it.
You just need to Docker pull RChain/Rholang cli. Maybe sudo. What are you running in right now? Is this Windows?
Yeah. Maybe I should not be in Windows.
What command line did you open?
I'm sorry? Yeah, this is the git bash.
Yeah, you don't want to be using git bash. You need to open your open like PowerShell.
I have a Docker quick start terminal.
That works too.
And that's, I guess, from installing Docker on Windows. And it's not starting too quick.
I think this is just a terminal, so type in docker pull.
There it goes. It's just starting very slowly here. And maybe I should close some windows here. One tab is great. Closes all your tabs.
Yeah, I've been using it regularly ever since you told me.
Otherwise, my machine gets dead.
While you're doing this, let me ask Jake. Jake, is there any functional? I guess this Docker Rholang client, it's only command line, or what do you do? Or basically, you could use VI or something else to do your Rholang. Is that how that part works?
Yeah, it's not really concerned about how you write your Rholang programs. This just gives you the option to sort of compile and run it.
Okay. Whereas the other guy is trying to pretty it up for writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks like this isn't working. I don't know why it's waiting for an IP address. I don't remember it ever doing that before.
The problem here is with the terminal or with something else?
I guess it's trying to initialize the terminal.
Try just opening a PowerShell.
Ooh. It's it looks like it's reinitializing Docker. I don't know why it did that.
There you go. Maybe your certs were outdated.
But it eventually came around to doing the Docker poll, which is taking some time, and then the next, you can reopen the tab of the Rholang CLI. Then we're going to do a Docker run TI-V. What's the TI? Do we know?
Yeah, IT is to essentially connect to a terminal and keep the input open.
Okay. And
you don't want to do that one right now, though, because you don't actually have a Rholang file to put in yet. So do the one below that if you just want to get the interpreter up and running.
Okay, so that was for if you.
Yeah, the other one is for actually writing a Rholang file, compiling and running it.
Okay, this one runs Rosette.
Yeah.
Okay, this one we would give it a. I think this is what we want to do. We want to take an example Rholang file and
Sure.
And run it.
Sure. I'm just saying you don't have a Rholang file right now, so you need to do that. You need to edit that path to contract.row. You need to give it a contract.
Right. So it doesn't suggest any particular files here. I assume that I go to GitHub and I get hello dot. Do I have any Rholang files here. D.
.ro. So Jake, are you suggesting that maybe that document needs to be fixed to say if you're a first time running this for the first time, do this, and then for subsequent, do it like this, something like that?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think the documentation is fine. I think it makes sense. I just think that like we probably want to be doing the Rholang tutorial, if we're trying to figure this stuff out, and because there's a link to example contracts and stuff in the Docker that we could use.
Okay.
So if you scroll down, there's like links to the GitHub path with all the example contracts in it. Examples directory up a little further.
Just one about.
So if you download one of these, you can do that.
So does the token contract compile?
Yeah, it should. It might not be produce very exciting output though.
I guess copy and paste it here. I said, pretend I'm going to edit it. Copy the whole thing. Okay, so
you can always hit that raw button too and just get a link to the raw text file or download that.
Okay. So I can VI, I append, I can paste the whole thing in here. Maybe not. There it goes. It pasted something. It looks like I can't see it.
Why don't you do the raw process like Jake just described? From GitHub, download it as a raw file.
This is all blank here. I know. See if that works any better. Raw here. Append, paste. I don't know why it pasted. It doesn't paste in properly. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I'm going to do a quit, and I'm going to do a cat out to token.row, and I'll paste it in this way. That looks a little better.
I've never seen that done before.
And then I can do a VI here, and we should have it. Okay. Sweet. I don't know why it wouldn't paste in. But I've had trouble with VI and these Windows shells sometimes. Okay, so now we can go back to the Rholang CLI here. we can take a let me go back up to here. Now we can run a
So you need to replace the contract with the token.
So we want to run token.row, Rholang API. What is want the full path here?
What? Yeah, you need the full path. No, go back.
Well, but that should work.
You need to specify the Docker mount point as well.
Oops, I used the wrong quotes. The Docker mount point. How do I know that?
So look at the example command in the Docker Hub documentation.
Though right now it does say Rosette on your screen. I don't know if that means you're good. I think you are good.
I did get into Rosette, but I didn't get any. I didn't get any output from the compiler. So what do I need here, Jake?
Right. Yeah, because you need to specify. You need to put that file token.row into the correct place where the compiler picks it up and compiles it and runs it. So if you look at that command again.
Yeah.
It was saying
Can
path.
you pop up the command on your screen and then I can show you?
I'm sorry. How do I quit? I forget. Is it
either Control D or exit?
from Rosette? Exit. Okay, so this is
so look at the other command.
so this is the other command.
Yeah, so see how you have your path to contract -v, you specify, nope, up above. You have -v, first you specify the path to the local contract, and then the colon, you need the colon, and then put /temp/input.row.
Oh, it should be big. I missed that part.
Yeah, that tells Docker where it's going to place this file that you're giving it.
Oops.
So yep, you did it, but the token
I did an
the token contract doesn't really show you anything. It doesn't really print anything or anything.
So do you know which of those examples prints or does something?
Okay, so we ran the program, but we didn't say what method we wanted to use or anything. So we So if we look at the contract here, we loaded the contract, but we didn't do a new token, or did we? I don't know.
We created that contract, but that contract just like sits there, right?
So if we wanted to do something with it, we would add some Rholang here to do something with it.
Exactly.
When we're smart enough to know what to do with it. But we should be able to create a token. We should be able to trade it. Right? That would be cool. And if we go through the tutorial, we should understand how this contract works, which I haven't done yet. That's why I chose this contract, because it's used in the used as an example. But we don't even know if the current version of the Rholang processes this completely. We got some warnings, but
oh yeah. Oh wait. So there you go. You got some outputs of 50 and 500.
Right. Oh, okay. So it did run something.
If you read the description of that token.row in the top, it's saying it's trying to print some balance or something. That's what it says on the top.
That implements the RC20 standard. This contract demonstrates the creation of a token, the transferring of tokens, the querying of a balance, and the printing of the balance query result. Awesome. We ran it. Success. Is there anything else that we want to investigate today?
One thing would be this business of running nodes. I guess they have that set somewhere else. Jake, do you know? Are you running a node?
We already did that, Rao.
The running the Rholang locally is all there is to running a node. Is there anything more?
Yeah, we ran nodes. You know, when we all ran nodes together, it makes sense, but it does, you know, it doesn't make sense really to run it unless you have a bunch of people running it at the same time. I don't think we need to do that.
I understand there are 20 or 30 people already running them all the time, I thought.
I don't think.
Yeah, you know, because Kenny reports on that number once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that again, you can go ahead and do that.
So what, you have them running, but you shut them down? Is that what you do? Once in
a while? I mean, you know, if it's running on the PC, you're not going to leave it running all the time.
So here is the Rholang SDK here. JDK, etc. You have any comments on this, Jake, as to what that does? That is the thing that's listed up there.
As to what one does?
No, this here that says openjdk.javanet. Oh, that's just the license. Okay, never mind. I was thinking there was a link to the SDK.
I don't know what happened to my developer link. But you should be able to find the instructions here if you want to run a node. Another thing we have is potentially the Discord OAuth2 provider work that Ian was requesting some help with. We might want to do that. I don't know if you have much familiarity, Jake, with PHP in Composer?
Not much, no.
I know Hybrid Auth supports Discord, OAuth, but we had problems getting the paths right when we tried to run that. So we need some guidance in that area. As well as it supports GitHub and other environments where we want to be able to act on behalf of the user in our automated processes.
Yeah, since we started that already some time ago, why don't you go to that and see if we can stand it up?
Yeah, I think without having a guide that's familiar with Composer, it's probably a waste of time.
Well,
for
just
us
go
to
to the docs
do
and
it together.
Right? I mean, there should be docs on Composer as to how that works if it's just a directory.
Yeah. And I know even Dan hates PHP. I'm not sure exactly why he's using it. In fact, it seemed like he wasn't using it. There's some confusion there as to I didn't understand why he asked why he said it mentioned PHP when later in the issue it seemed like he wasn't using PHP. So,
well, I mean, I think that's because he realizes that the tools are there. So, but in any case, let's not get sidetracked. Why don't we just go to Composer and see what guidance we can get to move to resolve the issue we were having with PHP and Composer.
We could also go over the Rholang tutorial if you wanted.
Okay. So Jake, do you have? Did you already play with Rholang and like you could maybe accelerate our learning on that or what?
Yeah, I have a decent understanding of Rholang.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome if you want to do that. Why don't you either if you want to share your screen or whatever you need to do, that'll be cool.
All right, can you see my screen?
It is flashing bright and not. I don't know if it's because of your background colors or is it something else? I do not know.
I'm not sure. It's not that way for me. Is it still that way?
No, we can see it, but it's a little too dark. So if you can make it a little bit bigger and or lighter, that might help.
Yeah, it was flashing light and dark for some reason. I guess when you hover over a window.
You're right. When you hover over the window, I think it's going away from dark to light or something. Dark to light.
Oh, okay. Let me try. Is this any better?
Yes.
Bigger. Yes.
All right. So where are you guys at with your understanding of Rholang? What can I help you with? Do you just want to walk through this, and when stuff doesn't make sense, we can go through it?
Yeah, you might as well start from the beginning.
Okay. So Rholang, process-oriented. You can think of computation being done via messages being passed on channels. Channels kind of look like message queues, but they're not really queues. Rholang is asynchronous, so if you want to like read a message from a contract and then write a message back to a contract, I guess we can just read this here. Rholang is completely asynchronous in the sense that while you read a message from a channel and then do something with it, you cannot send a message and then do something once it has been received, at least not without explicitly waiting for an acknowledgement message from the receiver. Does that make sense?
So basically, it's not sending is not a complete activity until you get an acknowledgement from the receiver, whether you got a result or not.
Yeah, well, basically you can spawn off a process that sends something, but if you want to like do something after that's been sent, that's not like really available in the language. You have to also pass in. You might have to pass a process two channels. One which is the data you want to send the channel, and another is a channel that you will receive an acknowledgement on once it's done something with that data that you sent it.
Okay, so the acknowledgement is for the result, not necessarily the act of having been sent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So the first example here is the Hello World contract. You specify a new name. So new Hello World in, and then that block means that Hello World is a name that's only accessible within that block. No other process can send or receive messages to that channel unless we explicitly give it the name to that. And then there's contract Hello World. So this means that anytime we get a message to Hello World, we will spawn off the stuff that's in the body of that contract. Does that make sense? So anytime the name Hello World is sent to, and it needs to receive this, this will happen. This Hello World, hello.display name, blah.
Now, is a name distinct from a channel, or is the name a channel?
So in this case, name is sort of distinct from a channel. There are two different types of things, right? You can turn a name. Are you asking about this variable here?
I was just saying general. I mean, we have
Yeah,
channels,
I guess
channels,
you
and
can
we have
think of,
messages, right?
yeah, I guess you can think of names as channels. Yeah.
Is that reference to names to something like Hello World, or is it reference to something else?
So yeah, Hello World is a name.
Correct.
Yep. And then when we send that name some data, which that data right here is the string Joe. So this is sending the Hello World name, which is only available in this block, a string that says Joe.
Right.
And then there's contract Hello World, which means that at this name, at the name Hello World, when it's sent something, it spawns off this as a process.
Okay.
So it'll do hello, display, and then the name. So
right. Now, I have a question. Greg talks about nominal types. Is that a completely different thing, or is that already implemented somewhere inside this?
That's not implemented here. Yeah, that's not in this version. So here's an example. That counter just turned Joe to Jake, and then we can run that here. Let me see, we get hello, Jake. So now we could try to do this. I'm actually not exactly sure what happens here. We could try to let's see what happens there. Yep.
Sweet.
So we had two sends to Hello World with different strings, and each time we sent on that, the body of this contract was created with name replaced with whatever we were replacing in that string. Cool?
That's easy enough.
All right, so let's go on to the second example. Hello again. So this is showing you how to send and receive data. So we have a contract, we have a new name, again, hello again. We have a contract, which we're just taking whatever's passed into that contract and throwing it away when it's instantiated because we don't need it. And then we're also creating a new name again. A new name is called Chan. And here we have a process that is outputting hello again world to a channel. And then in parallel, we're also reading Chan, calling whatever was received text, and then displaying that text, and then the new line character. So who can tell me what they would expect when this program is run? Oh, and then in parallel, we're actually calling the contract here without any data. Any guesses? I guess, Jim, are you muted?
Yeah, I guess we would get, we're reading the channel, and I mean, how does that get output? I mean, we're consuming the input when we read it, right?
Yep, so there's this text.display function.
Okay, so that, but does that output to the channel or no? That is just
this outputs text.display outputs to the console. This is what we'll see.
Okay. So for text channel, so just hello again.
Yep, with a new line character after it.
Now, what is the underscore again?
So the underscore is just we are to instantiate this contract. Sort of, we need to pass a value to it, and this is to say that we just don't use the value that's passed in.
Okay.
Because we don't need it. So, right, the main difference between, so for is kind of like contract, except once for happens, it doesn't happen again. So let's try to edit this. So if we have, right, we have this Chan, hello again world. And then what if we also did Chan output hello one more time world. All right, what do you expect happens here?
Both lines.
All right, let's give it a shot. We only get one line.
Aha. So it did one or the other.
Yep, exactly. Because this for loop only runs once, and then it doesn't happen again. So what if we change this to a contract? Then we probably would get both to run, right?
Right.
So we can do oh, yep. Yep. So now we get both.
Awesome.
Makes sense?
Yeah. Now we get to the good part.
Yeah, now we get the good part. All right.
There's a lot there.
There is, yeah. Let's write it all out together and go through it as we go. So we have a new name. And then we have a contract at that name, which takes, looks like 3 things. New name again. So when we call value store with some value, wait. What is this doing? All right, we're outputting an initial value. Oh, right, and it comes from up here. I should probably just copy and paste this all, shouldn't I? All right. I think I actually. It looks like we don't actually have the cell example in there. Oh, tut make cell. Oh, the tutorial. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's make sure we understand this before we run it. All right, we have this contract, takes 3 values, a new name. We store init to that name. We make a contract inside of make cell, which is get, and we receive on that an acknowledgement, or we receive on that a place to do something. So then we take the value store, put it in a value, which value is not, and what are we doing there? So we write out the value to ACK. I'm not sure what we're doing here though. Oh, we save it back. Got it. Right. I wonder if there's, are we missing an exclamation mark there? Ah, it looks like this is a hanging exclamation mark that we don't really need. Yeah, I'm a bit confused there. Let me see it. So I just learned that it looks like the exclamation mark is not necessary for sending values.
Any intuition on when you might need it?
No, it looks like it might just be syntax changing. I don't know. I think that's a question for the developers. I'm gonna post that now.
Mike Stay did say there will be a lot of syntactical changes between now and July.
Yeah, it would just be nice if it was consistent in the tutorial, because it's not right now.
Now, on the receipt, do you need the exclamation? Like it says my get exclamation ACK over there in the code.
Huh?
On the receive, my get exclamation ACK. So does that mean that on the receipt you need the exclamation or what?
No, so these are all outputs, right? So, and I just tested it with hello again. I removed all the exclamation marks. Contract still runs exactly the same. Or we could put them in anytime we're outputting on a name. So these are the 3 places we're outputting on a name. We can put exclamation marks there. That works. Or we can remove them. And that still works.
Cool. That's one less keystroke.
Yeah. All right. So we were going over the mutable state contract, and I was getting a little bit confused as to like why that and that exists.
So it either stores it back or it acknowledges it.
It does both in parallel.
Okay, but when we had 2 displays in parallel, it only did one of them. In the four.
No. What we had was we had this display. We had this. We had 2 outputs to channel, but they were both competing for this for comprehension, which only runs once.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So then we have contract set. We take whatever in the value store, we throw it away. And then match pair. Okay, so pair is now we're getting sort of 2 things on that channel. And we decompose it to new value and acknowledgement. We put the new value in the value store and send the acknowledgement on nil. Oh, wait, so maybe. Oh, wait, yeah. So this might be like the raw name, and this we're outputting onto whatever was received.
So I don't know why it would send. I mean, sending a pair rather than sending two arguments or two inputs.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, let's test my hypothesis here. Okay.
So we had
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's do no, it's the same. Yeah, I don't know. All right, but anyways, I think we see that we create a few new channels, create a new cell with the initial value being 1, 2, 3. We get the value, or this is we get the result back in that acknowledgement channel, display it, and then we set it, the value, give it 4, 5, 6 in the acknowledgement channel, take the next acknowledgement, no.
okay. So we're doing the synchronization
yeah.
here.
Right.
So we're synchronizing it so that we get an acknowledgement of the value that was set. No?
Yes.
No?
Yes. Right. We're making sure that we're getting something back from the ACK. Then, yeah. We're outputting on my get, yep, to get the new value. So we're making sure that it's been set. And then grabbing that result. Cool. All right, iteration and mapping.
Oh my.
works. Okay. All right. So our contract iterate passed a list and an iterator. We output next to the iterator. And then, so anytime we receive a value from that next, from the channel, from the iterator channel. So iterator gets passed in, and then next gets passed out. And then you've established a communication link such that anytime you send that next on that next channel, which is happening right here, this is picking it up. And it is grabbing and then each message received on next sends a pair containing the next item in the list and whether the iteration is done. Okay. So where is it sending it? So we have a pair here, which is the next item, whether the iteration's done. We grab the nth item. We grab the ith item here.
Where does the pair come from?
This is, so pair is received.
Hi, Karen. We have a meeting set for now. Are you here for the RChain new programming? 3 o'clock. There is a scheduled Divi meeting. Welcome, Karen.
Hi, I was over on Discord and I saw you were here, so I thought I'd pop in.
Okay, well, yeah, we had the governance open meeting, and then we went on to the RChain new programming.
Okay. Maybe I'll bow out and let you guys do technical stuff.
Well, we saw how easy it was to run a Rholang program, and now we're trying to figure out how Rholang works.
Okay, I think that I'll leave you guys to it. I just wanted to say, Jim, I saw on Discord, maybe we could talk later with working on the values and vision principles.
Awesome.
Okay.
Now the Divi meeting seems to be set for 4 to 5. There's like a Divi study group or something. Is that what you have, Jim?
I think I have a something for 3 o'clock also that hasn't been running lately. The it's the BYOAD planning. Which should be on your calendar, although you didn't respond.
Yeah, I don't have a 3 on my calendar. I have a 4 o'clock Divi study.
Yeah, I'm not sure what where this came from.
All right, I'll leave you guys. Bye.
Okay, Karen, good to see you. Bye bye. We love serendipity.
But I'm not sure what does she the values and all that. Was she talking about the RChain governance, or she's talking about something else?
RChain. Right. I had mentioned in Discord that I want to be involved in the values and principles work, and I didn't know who contact about that, and apparently I contact Karen.
I see.
Hopefully I can find her on Discord.
Was she the one that was on the thing last night? Was Karen on last night? Maybe it is the same Karen.
Yeah,
I didn't realize because she was wearing a different shirt or something. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No,
I was expecting a different haircut, but
Jake, do you think she was the same Karen that was on last night?
Oh yeah, yeah, it was.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, good.
All right. So Jim, you're asking where pair comes from. It comes from right here. So this is how it gets initialized.
Okay, well, I mean, pair is a name, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So this is a contract right pair is kind of just like saying for pair blah blah. Right? It's just like this, except it gets repeated multiple times. Does that make sense?
I would expect, that it would read next into pair. I don't know.
No, next just gets thrown away here. Or whenever we receive on next, we're just putting it nowhere. And then we're creating a new name right, which receives pair. So this name right receives pair.
Contract. Okay. I see. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is the first time we call this contract right here.
Right. I see. Yeah.
So then we output an iterator, the ith item. Then wait, what are we doing here? We're taking the value from next again. And matching I plus 1 is less than limit, the true.
Oh, what was me?
Cool. All right. I think this is making sense to me. So here we create a new, we want to iterate over this. And then we receive on iterator the next channel. We output nothing on next. And then we receive from the iterator a pair, the value, and if we should keep going or not. We display the value with a new line after it. And then if keep going is true, we, okay, why do we have to do both of those? Oh yeah, we output on next, and then also do the whole thing over again. Do this all over again. This is make sure we just enter it at least once.
So this code doesn't look very functional, I guess. Do you guys agree, or is it?
What do you mean?
Is this like as functional as it could be with the for loops and all that?
So yeah, this is not a for loop.
So for
This is a for, yeah. So this means that this essentially the for keyword in Rholang just means that we are going to be receiving on this channel and throwing it into this name.
It's almost more of a when we receive something on this channel.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the origin of for comes from. I think when would have been better, although who knows? There is a confusion with the for loop for noobs like us. In the example we just did with mutable state, clearly that's not functional. There is no real mutable state in functional programming.
Yep. We should see 4, 5, 6. And we do. What was your comment?
That in pure functional programming, we wouldn't be able to have a mutable state.
A mutable state?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't here.
Well, in the previous example, we did. Says at the top, mutable state. We can set and get a value.
Right. You can sort of make something look like it has mutable state.
Yeah. I guess it.
But it's really just like messages that you've placed into something. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Rholang is not purely functional. It's It's what do you call it?
Concurrent?
It's an actor-driven thing, right? Functional with it.
Yeah, you can model it that way, yeah. All right. And we got the coat check.
It's fundamental. It's actually imperative. It's actually an imperative language.
But you're not necessarily specifying an order in which things run.
Right. It's a challenge to enforce an order. Requires synchronization.
So what do we have here? Make coat check. Cool. So here we have like string matching for methods. This is how we initialize an empty map, it must be. So here, right, when we make a coat check, we pass in a name. We get back on that name this port variable, or this port name, which was newed inside of all of this. So we've now just given outside access to port outside of this new block, right? So whoever's calling this also has access to this port. And then we also we listen on that port for messages in this format. First thing we do is look at the method whenever we get a message on there. If we're setting a value, let's just do that first. Then we take map store, put it in this map name. The first thing that we would get from map store is this empty map here. And then we insert arg1, arg2 into that map. We put it back in the map store and we send an acknowledgement. To get a value, we grab the map store, essentially a lock on it. And we just put it right back, and we send an acknowledgement with the with the value that we want. We send the value that we got from the map to the acknowledgement channel. And then what is new? So new, we're taking the map store again, putting in map, grabbing a new, naming a new ticket. Okay, so essentially we're just creating new names at which to store objects. And note that only the process, since ticket is a new name here, only the process that sent this acknowledgement channel here, only the process calling has control over what this name is. So it also has control over who has the ticket name, which is used to retrieve items and set them. Or we're also setting it here. It looks like we're inserting it. Okay, so how are we using it here? Making a code check. A new one with 0 in there. Waiting for something on this return channel, which is our ticket. Like I was just talking about, we grab that. Takes whatever was set, which was 0 before, transforms it to 1. When we've received that, we get to the value from our code check at that ticket name, and then receive that value on this stored value name, and then display it. So it should display 1. We can run that. Any question about that example? Here we see one.
I think I get it. I'm a little bit over meeting today. I've been in meetings so long.
Oh yeah,
I'm losing my focus a little bit, but
yeah, for sure.
this is great. Thank you so much, Jake. This is wonderful.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, really appreciate it. At least gives us a kickstart on to go to that tutorial document and then go through in detail on this stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what did you find overall, having gone through this process? You have any comments on this thing?
No, I mean, the only question right now I have is it looks like we're inconsistent with like how we're putting out values using the exclamation mark or not. That was kind of confusing me for a bit. So I put a message about that on the Rholang channel in Discord. So we'll see what happens there. But there might be a difference that I'm just not sure of right now, or maybe we should just change it to be consistent.
Yeah, I guess as they go through the syntax changes that they're making in the code, maybe they need to update these tutorial examples and all that, yeah.
Right. Or at least like freeze it in place at a point in time and say this is what it was at this date, but have it be consistent.
Correct.
it makes me wonder if, you have an optional, can use a question mark to input. I mean, that's just, in communicating sequential processes and the languages that have led up to this, several of them use question mark and bang to specify the inputs and outputs.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to just adjourn there then, or do we want to keep going?
Well, my attention span has gone down a little bit. If you want to continue, it'll be on the recording, and I'll
Okay.
go get a snack.
I don't know. There's other stuff I guess I could be doing too. Rao, how are you feeling?
Yeah, maybe we can take a break here and then maybe break it up into another session for the rest of it.
Okay, sounds good.
Also, maybe it'll give us some time in between to actually go through this ourselves, and we may have some questions or something for you.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm happy to field any.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
Yeah, this is part one, and continued.
Woo woo. We got all the way to what? Dining philosophers in deadlock.
Correct. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
See
Bye,
ya.
guys.
All right, later. Bye.